And welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3, The Answer, aka Episode Aegis. We are, once again, starting off with another boss fight in FES, because, well, we're here, and I always show these off first anyway. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. The only major change I made to my equipment loadout here is that I slapped the Indra bracers onto Aegis. We don't have a natural stack of Elect Boost and Elect Amp yet, so that'll help out in this upcoming boss fight, as Electric type is the only kind of magic this guy is vulnerable to. The enemy seems to be waiting below. Are you ready? About as ready as I'll ever be. How many times have I said this or said that over the course of this LP?
Shadow confirmed. If that presence is summoning them, does that mean it's an enemy? But it seems like... It doesn't seem like it's going to attack us this time either. Focus on the shadow. Get ready.
We're finally mixing things up a bit in FES. We're fighting a strong, singular enemy, and he has no weakness to exploit. This Neo Minotaur here has 2500 HP, absorbs fire and wind skills, as well as nullifying ice skills. So what we're going to do to start things out here is, of course, we're going to put Akihiko on heal and support to go for debuffs. Ken can stay on full assault here, and ideally he'll go for his Zionga spells. We're actually going to put Metis onto conserve SP for this first turn, just to make sure she doesn't decide to wing a wind spell on it and undo any potential work. Let's take a look at our turn order here. I'm going to start off with Parvati here in order to get Ma Rakukaja up on the team. Again, we don't have auto team buffers in FES yet, so we will need to rely on manually setting up our buffs at the start of the battle. Akihiko going for Tarunda here, so that probably wasn't super necessary, but always better safe than sorry, you know? And Metis is going for the Gigantic Fist here. Now that we've got the scan through, we don't really have to worry about paying attention to this guy's, resistances anymore. Ooh, it's very unfortunate that we couldn't get that shock beforehand. Alright, Marakunda coming through. I'm actually just gonna ride with that, because now that we have the Tarunda in effect, I'm not too pressed about that coming through. Now we're gonna switch over to Thor and start throwing out some Zeodynes at this guy. This will be our best damage-dealing option, most likely. Oh, I was supposed to change Metis' tactics. There we go. Considerably better than what the rest of the team was getting there, truth be told. Alright, defense down on that guy. Gigantic Fist coming out from Metis. If we could get some, like, just lucky crits from her, that would definitely speed up the fight considerably, but, I can't really hold my breath on that either. Ooh, my gutter died. Unexpected. And very dangerous. Goodness gracious, I was not expecting that. Maybe I should have Ma Rakukaja up on everyone. Let me see here. Ooh, that is a doozy. We might want to go for the bead chain, honestly. Oh, that's I was not expecting that much damage coming out from this guy, so let's switch over to Cert and do a Mediarama real quick. And we will have Metis go into full assault instead of conserve SP. So this is where having Mediarama on Cert here will come in handy. Unfortunately, both Ken and Akihiko are fairly under-leveled, so that is going to be quite a bit of damage being thrown their way, and not a whole ton I can do about that. Ooh, Poison Arrow. If this could actually poison this guy, this would be pretty nice. Not quite, but hey. Points for trying, points for trying. Alright, what's he gonna do? Go for another Marakunda. Now, we're definitely going to want to counteract that with our own Ma Rakukaja. So, what I'm going to do here to err on the side of caution is actually put Ken into heal and support. Keep Akihiko in heal and support as well, so that we don't have to worry about him going for an offense when we really could use a degree of healing. And let me just make sure, yeah, Parvati is not vulnerable to win there. Just want to make sure that was the case. Let's get Ma Rakukaja up real quick. This is looking to be a fairly slow battle, unfortunately. Alright, Diorama coming out from Akihiko, which is much appreciated. And then the same will be coming out from Ken, likely winged in Metis' direction. No poison, unfortunately. And that is good, because that will guarantee that Metis will survive. His attack is reverted now. He's going for a power charge, so it would probably be in our best interest to mitigate that with an attack mirror. Just bounce it right back at him. Do I have attack mirrors? Yes, I do. 2 should be more than enough for this battle. Would be nice if we could get in some attacks with Aegis here, but can't have everything, I suppose. And, I was hoping she'd keep going for the poison arrows. Sooner or later, maybe that would have stuck some poison. I actually don't know if this guy is immune to that. Letting Ken go with the healing there in order to get Akihiko topped off. Okay, his defense has gone back. Vicious Strike coming through, and there we go. Beautiful damage coming out from us. And a perfect opportunity for me to just wing at him with Thor real quick. So let's go for a Zeodyne here. Unfortunately, his defense debuff just expired, so we're not getting the most damage possible there. We'll be coming back through for Metis here, though. For the poison arrow. Yeah, Ken's damage is low enough. That's probably just better to keep him on diorama so that he is getting Metis topped back off. Alright, what's he gonna go for now? Going for Mind Charge. Ooh, that's a bit more precarious, because he could, if he bounces the wind spell back into him. Let me see here. Only strong against wind. Do I have a guy who's just completely immune to wind? I do have Karama Tengu here. Let me see. Oh, this is actually a really bad situation to find ourselves in. I have to think carefully on this one. How do I want to approach this? Because I don't want to magic mirror it back into him, because if I remember right, in this game, that still counts as you know what? I'm gonna actually just go balls to the walls here with Akihiko and Ken, because there's a very good chance they're gonna get taken out. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to switch to, let me see here. I'm gonna switch to Karama Tengu, and I'm just going to use one of the protection sutras that I've got to mitigate the incoming damage coming to Metis, and we may just have to fight out this fight with just Aegis and Metis to carry the rest of the damage. Throw out the Zeonga here. Well, I suppose I could revive Akihiko and Ken. Well, we'll have to see what I decide on here. Right, Zeonga coming through from Ken. And, okay, he just single targets it. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world, actually. I'm more than willing to bring Ken back in on that. So what we're gonna do is just switch... no, we'll stick on this guy for right now, but we will use one of our Bombs of Lives on Ken, Bomb of Life on Ken in order to get him back in the battle. I think now I will send Akihiko back into healing support so they can get some of those debuffs back up. Come on, Metis, if you got a crit here, that would speed the fight up considerably. Okay, what's he gonna do here? Ma Rakunda just canceling out the Ma Rakukaja we had up, so I'm not too pressed about that. Yeah, I'll send Akihiko back into heal and support, just in case the fight goes on any longer, but at this point, another Zeodyne from Thor will probably finish this guy off, so not too bad. Definitely looks scarier than it actually was. Glad we were able to get through it with only using one attack mirror also. Enjoy some nice Rakunda boosted damage there. Wasn't quite enough to finish him off, but Metis should get the finishing blow here. Yep, there she goes. Thank you, Metis. Alright, not too bad. Scarlet Choker and a ton of experience, yeah. I am glad that, you know, these are more analogous to Tartarus bosses than the proper bosses in, the journey, but, still, it is nice that, yeah, they're more analogous to the Tartarus bosses, so it's very nice that they are EXP pinatas like the Full Moon Shadows instead. That was always the most disappointing thing about me to me about the Tartarus bosses in the journey. Alrighty, that takes care of that for FES. Obviously, we still have the reload boss, so we will roll into that. I don't know if there's anything new for me to show off in FES. I'm probably gonna quickly run to the next door we have to get through, but if I happen to run into any new enemies, I'll definitely stick it in a montage. Stick it somewhere in the middle of the reload exploration. Speaking of reload, let's get into it. I've been idling long enough. Now, for reload, I'll be using Junpei and Yukari for this boss fight. Junpei, I was just planning on using ahead of time, because he will be quite useful for this fight, while Yukari was kind of incidental. She was just the lowest leveled character that I had when I farmed out another clock to get Junpei caught up to the party, and I think, looking at what we've got to deal with here, she should work fine enough for this, so I did just update their equipment a little bit to make sure that they have pretty good stuff. Like, I got a Choker of Anguish on Junpei with some extra strength and HP. His Geta will be giving him a whole bunch of experience, which is pretty nice, and then a Waistcoat of Anguish to boost his agility. Yukari, I mostly just, fished around for things that I thought would be relatively useful. Obviously, her Longbow of Betrayal with Anti-Electric Master is pretty handy, so we'll keep that on her for now. But Auto Rebellion, Auto Tarakaja, about the best things I could slap onto her on short notice without farming out anything else specific. With that taken care of, why don't we get into the battle, and why don't we also just auto-recover before we get into it real quick. To the deepest explored floor we go. Honestly, I should think of a few things to say while we have load screens inbound. I was just kind of like, you know what, this is probably going to be the only opportunity I have to relax.
These guys are stubborn as hell. They just keep coming one after another. Sure do love us, don't they?
Not sure if Junpei's talking about anything specific there, or just every boss shadow. I suppose it is fair to be exhausted with this at this point, especially when we thought that we were completely done with the Dark Hour.
Another shadow! If that figure is summoning these shadows, I guess it's an enemy. But then, why does it seem so similar to... Anyway, it still seems like it won't attack, so focus on the shadow. You can do it! Let's be able to scan the enemy soon!
You know, I was having a hard time focusing on that cutscene there, considering how absolutely ginormous Junpei's sword is there. I mean, even more so than usual for him. Anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to immediately fire off an Oracle, just to see if we can get an automatic charge and concentrate. If we get extended buffs on everyone, that's fine too. Yeah, okay, extended buffs, that's okay. Plus, it gets attack up onto Junpei and Metis, which they didn't have. So, we've got the Ice Raven here. This guy's got 2188 HP, weak to slash skills while repelling, pierce, and absorbing ice. The Acheron Seeker over here has 2503 HP, weak to strike, fire, and elect skills, repels ice and wind skills, and nullifies light and dark stuff. So, some very, very physically vulnerable enemies here, which works out wonderfully for us. So, why don't we just get to work on that? I hope I have a slash skill with Aegis here. It's not the end of the world if I don't. Okay, let me just double check. Yeah, the Acheron Seeker is not immune to slash skills in any degree. Of course I missed there, but what can you expect sometimes? Luckily, nobody here is vulnerable to ice, so I'm not particularly pressed about that. Why don't we have Yukari just keep everybody topped off with Mediarama, also get her Theurgy charged up a little bit. Fortunately, Junpei and Metis will work out pretty wonderfully for us here. Spirit Drain is kind of annoying, but it is mostly just annoying. I'm not particularly worried about that. Let's go for Blade of Fury here, hopefully get the hits. Maybe I should have gone for Secunda there, but better safe than sorry when you don't know what kind of resistances you're dealing with. These guys are going to get absolutely stomped by Metis here. Let me see. I do think what I want to do... Let's go for the Gigantic Fist on this guy here. There we go. Is I actually am going to go for the all-out attack here, because I would like to throw it back on to Metis. So let's just do this all-out attack here. And we are going to switch things up a little bit here with Aegis. We are going to Gigantic Fist the Acheron Seeker over here. There we go. Then we are going to throw it on over to Metis so that she can enjoy the Sister boost bonus. Go for Deathbound here, hopefully hit. Not the end of the world if we don't. There we go, okay. And now I'm going to use this opportunity to go into Orgia mode here, which should honestly take out the Acheron Seeker, but we'll see. And get some very, very nice damage onto the Ice Raven. And, as an added bonus, Orgia mode will give Metis a significant defense bonus there. So even though her HP is kind of low, she shouldn't have to worry about being taken out here. Acheron Seeker is dizzied, which is fine enough, fine enough. Going for the Bufudine there. The freeze is annoying, but at this point, the fight is in the bag. Let me see here. I'm just gonna have Yukari go for this. No crit, unfortunately. Sorry, my, throat's getting a little dry there. Man, I am having terrible luck hitting that thing. Oh, come on, Bez, you can do better than that. Aegis is unfortunately still frozen. Bit annoying. Especially when that happens. Ow. Fortunately, it did not decide to go for the double tap, which is great, because I don't have the Enduring Soul passive on Aegis anymore. Very unfortunate. Just gonna go for a Blade of Fury again with Junpei, since that's his best option here. There we go! Get that damage in. Wonderful, wonderful. Go for another one, and then hopefully Metis will be able to get the kill there. Was a bit unfortunate that we got that freeze on Aegis there, but thankfully the AI was merciful there, so I didn't have to run it back, which is it would have been annoying if I did, because the fight was otherwise very, very easy. Alright, so max SP plus 7 if we draw the Hermit Tarot. Very nice. Get a whole bunch of level ups here. Explosion of Growth 3 experience. Junpei is also going to, let me see here, I'm just going to slap that on in place of Maragion. I think, I forget if Suzaku can learn Fire Amp. Do I want to take this Evade Ice? Yeah, actually, I will take that. So I'm not going to use this for Maega at all. Heat Wave, do I have anything I can drop here that I could take that? I'm actually not too concerned about having Resist Slash, so I will get rid of that. Endure, you know, I honestly could have used this a few seconds ago, but hey, better late than never, I suppose. What do I even want to get rid of, though? I kind of want to keep all of these. But Gigantic Fist is probably the less useful of the options there. Get a Fade Pierce. There's so many things just exploding from the level ups. That figure disappeared on us again. It's so frustrating how we can't just chase after it once the fighting starts. And we can't afford any distractions in battle since these shadows are so tough. Seriously, that last fight was exhausting. Agreed, I'm a bit worn out.
Yeah.
I feel you. We've also got so much stuff weighing on our minds. Way too much. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to sound like a big baby. Sorry for making you listen to me whine. Come on, let's get back to it. Probably the first time in a while I've actually had the proper character to bring to a boss fight that prompts a reaction. Didn't have Metis just infilling for whoever was going to talk. Anyways, we've got a whole bunch of block chests to open up here, so let's see what we get. Some custom parts, which is very nice. Wish I could get that last batch of custom parts from chasing after the rare or the greedy shadow. Get a non-fiction novel here. Oh, dang it. I really hate how it is so easy to interrupt those bits of dialogue. It would be nice if they continued after you open the chest, though I realize there's probably a quirk with the programming that makes that unfeasible. And we get a spice set. Kind of nice that we get more stuff to develop our bonds with our party members. We were kind of denied that last time we cleared a second boss set in the Abyss of Time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly swap out my party for get rid of Junpei and Yukari, bring back in Ken and Koromaru, check out anything that might be interesting at the Velvet Room, and then we can continue on. Alright, after setting up the party a little bit, I did shop around for Personae. I did create an Atropos using our Dionysus, and gave her Elect Boost, Single Target Boost, and Zeodyne, so I have a slightly stronger Elect caster there, and she'll pick up some Wind Magic for coverage. I also pulled Siegfried back out of the compendium, because I realized I had a Slash Boost card. Yeah, play these games long enough with enough breaks in between, you eventually forget what you have, so I can just use cards to get him set up to be a good Slash user. Also, got Trumpeter fused. Finally fused off my Black Frost in order to create this guy, since we haven't really been using him. Eventually, I'd like to find a way to get Decarabia up-fused into Bishamonten so we could get more improved pierce damage, but that'll have to wait. For right now, we also have Elizabeth over here, waiting with a request for us to turn in. So let's see here. Oh, is she, do you need anything else? That's weird.
Very well.
Let's see. Huh, that's strange. Oh, I know what it must have been. When I entered the Velvet Room, she had some Twilight Fragments to turn over to me, so that was probably just, the game getting a little confused because I grabbed them from the Velvet Room. She did still have the exclamation point over her head, didn't she? Oh, goodness. I'm gonna be... She had it before I entered the Velvet Room. Oh, God. Now I have this doubt in myself.
Sending shadows after us and then running away. I don't comprehend.
Sounding like Gale over there, Metis. Metis says she doesn't know what the dark figure is, but is that really true? I know we have to take her word for it, but I'm still uneasy. I'm sorry, I lost track of it again. Maybe you can find clues further ahead. Please do what you can to track it down.
We better watch our step.
Yeesh, Fuka, try not to talk too much like Metis isn't there. Fortunately, we don't really have anything to impede our path on this way floor here.
I wonder if that's somehow related.
Once again, the teammates just chiming in randomly. Like, I'm already in the middle of a thought, and I feel bad that I'm talking over Fuka, but, like, I just can't tell when it's happening. They always chime in as I'm opening a chest, so they just immediately get canceled. So it's just an awkward situation we keep finding ourselves in. Ooh, another locked chest.
Treasure chest.
That is tempting, I'll admit.
I'll be able to scare the enemy soon.
And I believe this is a new enemy here. We've got Phantom Lord, so let me scroll up a bit. Yeah, we haven't seen these guys before. They have 649 HP, resistant to ice skills, absorb wind skills, weak to light, and they repel dark stuff. So we'll just throw out a Swift Strike with Kodomaru just to see if he gets a critical, which he does. Pretty consistent for that. Good boy, good boy. Next we will throw it on to Ken here. I really would like to get Gibalg onto him, but I'm going to have to fuse an entirely new Coolin in order to get that, I'm afraid. So we will just have to deal with that or cross that bridge when we get to it. Wouldn't mind spamming Makoga with him a couple times just to get his Theurgy ready. We're more than likely going to have one more instance of Monad coming up before we get done with this area, so wouldn't hurt to have that happen. Burn a little bit of his SP also so that he gets that quick Theurgy charge.
That's a win for the team. Stronger. Good job, everyone.
Yes, excellent work, everyone. Now that we have a dedicated team buffer, I believe I've mentioned this a couple times, but we can finally look into getting a new weapon for Aegis.
So happy when he's with Aegis. He must like her a lot.
Indeed.
There would be something good in there.
And who wouldn't? I thought Metis was continuing the thought there. But yeah, we can get a new weapon for, ooh, nice, another incense. I believe I got a couple of those kicking around that I've just collected. I haven't really used them, just because I kind of forget that I have them. But that would be an opportunity to boost up my characters once I can actually remember to use those. In particular, I like using them on Metis, just because I'm using her all the time, and she really benefits her Theurgies to have high attacking stats in both areas. If you're lucky enough, you might actually be able to cap out her strength stat before you finish off the game. Not too much getting in our way this time. Okay, as soon as I said, it's like, you know, we've been going a long time without Monad, a suspiciously long time. Oh, well, let me see here. I hate when I have to just double guess which way I want to go. We'll go this way and get some chests first. Get our valuable chest that the game has clued in for us. A Megadolon gem, not so useful in this game, but hey, it's there, it's there. I honestly kind of like those gems in Persona 3 Portable.
Look, there's a shadow.
Just because of the fixed damage they deal is actually surprisingly useful in a lot of situations, particularly if a physically proficient character just finds themselves completely walled out. It's actually been quite some time since we've played Persona 3 Portable. Honestly, kind of starting to miss working it into the ongoing LP. It's like getting, I mean, I guess it's not been that long to truly describe it this way, but it's almost nostalgic in the context of the LP. I do still want to do Monad doors in order to just get as many resources as possible going forward. As you can see, I've been avoiding a lot of enemies, so this is a good way to still keep us up to snuff on equipment and experience, even if it is ever so slight in that latter category. So I'll take care of this, and then we'll see what haul we get. Alright, that was pretty straightforward. Time to see what goodies we get this time. Choker of Anguish, as expected. Over in this chest, we could definitely use tons of gems, because there's so many things I'd like to trade for. Torso of Anguish here. Looks better on the surface than what Metis currently has, but is it truly? Is it truly? Let's find out. Let's see here. I think that's the plus 50 HP one. Actually, not a bad property for it to have, but I kind of would like to just keep the strike boost that she currently has on there. Keeps her weapon also relatively strong. What does this compare? How does this compare? All out attack damage up. Pretty unique trait, but I'd much rather have the dark boost on Kodomaru. Hound of Hades may still find its chances to be useful. Let's see. Legs of Anguish for Aegis. What have we got here? Legs of Treason with the HP, and that is just Auto Rebellion. Do not care about that. Not a super inspiring haul of items thus far. I gotta say. Yeah, nothing too super interesting. Maybe that Choker of Anguish has a pretty good spread of statistical bonuses. I could get another Strength plus 8, HP plus 51. That one would actually be pretty nice for Metis. But I'm not super hard up for that. I'm not pressed about having that or anything. Alright, we've fully explored everything I care about in this floor. Again, I don't really care to do too much with the enemies at this point. Were you able to figure out where that thing went? Apologies, but I haven't been able to zero in on its location either. Oh, but I have new information on the layout ahead. The floors end not too far from where you are. Kind of figured at this point. These don't typically go on that much longer. I do think it was really funny that, like, the first area where we had a shall I say, victory lap after the boss. That was probably the most they tasked us with going forward, which is just funny to think about, really, in the context of the entire... I always want to call it, like, a campaign, but that feels like a weird thing to call, like, a side story mode in an RPG. I mean, it's not really inaccurate, but you get what I mean. Oh, dang, another monad right away. Not that I'll complain. The last haul we got was pretty underwhelming. Would love an opportunity to replace the Enduring Soul equipment that was unfortunately lost due to my incompetence and poor memory.
I thought I heard him say something like, ooh me, ooh she. Me would be Sonata-san in this context, but who's she?
I actually missed the first bit of dialogue that Metis said there because I was yammering, so actually I'm not sure what she was talking about there. Do we still have a... Let's see here. I wanted to see if there was a button for... what is it? Like a chat log. I feel like there should be. No. I'm probably thinking of something from way back. No, there it is. Okay, no, it doesn't have it. Dang it. I was hoping it would have that one. Whatever. Into Monad we go. Thinking way back, like, I haven't accidentally activated that since the start of the LP when I had a bad controller that caused me to accidentally activate that. Anyways, another Monad fight. Let me get through this real quick. Alright, off the back of that battle, I also got a Siegfried card, so now we're getting Slash Amp, and we've got Siegfried back at his full potential. Unfortunately, no Scarlet Havoc to take advantage of in this storyline. Do I want to swap out Makoga for Kogaon? Probably better just for the greater damage, and eventually I can swap that out for Makogaon.
Hello.
Not sure if that's the most efficient way to go about it, but hey, whatever. You can redo your skill list at any time in this game if you go to B Blue V, so you don't really have to be that decisive about things. Ooh, a new dog suit for Kodomaru. We may as well take a look at that. My big wish list thing for Persona 4 Remake is that if they re-include also this Yeah, that's not very good. But if they re-include this thing where your party members chime in to ask to equip certain things, I really would like for them to actually tell you the full extent of what the equipment does. Anyways, Cannon of Anguish, doesn't really matter what it does. Oh, I could have equipped this Cannon of Treason for extra experience. Like I said, though, it doesn't really matter what it does. We don't need the cannon that gives us, Auto Masuku Kaja anymore, because we just have a Persona that does that for us. I do really love the, just the ability to revert back your Persona to the one you started the previous battle with. That's something I would really love to have in the original Persona 3. It makes it much more tedious when exploring, because I can't just set an auto buffer. Though honestly, now that I've realized I can just run a team of Metis, Kodomaru, and Ken to cover everything. That's not necessarily a hassle to keep running all the time in Persona 3 FES anymore. I'll have to keep that in mind for later once we finally do have an auto team buffer ready. Still not quite there yet, though we are more than at an adequate level to do that. As a matter of fact, I've been meaning to mention is that I'll probably do some off-screen or off-recording work in order to actually get an auto-buffing Persona ready, if nothing else for boss fights, because that would just be convenient to have. Obviously, being able to start with all that extra power.
I gotta say, It's not my favorite way to get stuff.
Yeah, just,
Look!
even, or just having all that stuff to go at the start of boss fights. Obviously, much nicer way to go about things. Alright, I'm appreciating these map fills from the monad clears. It's kind of funny how we went quite a while without monads, and then we essentially got 2 right back to back. One as soon as our scouted ahead map had run out on us. Are we going to go for a hat trick on monads before we get to the end of this area? I never remember. Okay, no. I can never remember what the end point is. We've reached the bottom. We still don't know anything about that mysterious figure. I told myself it would be different this time. Well, anyway, everyone is headed towards you. Take a look around and see what you can find. Will do, will do. Gee, how different, how unusual for what we've been seeing thus far.
So this is Tartarus from the inside. This is only the second time anyone has come here without special equipment.
Normal weaponry is useless against shadows. Anything you brought provides little more than peace of mind. Everyone here has had their potential developed in our labs. That alone should suffice for protection. Though, should you get devoured, that would provide us with valuable data as well.
Is there anyone left in the Argo division who isn't a psycho? In any case, sir, are you all right with this? I mean, with bringing your daughter here.
I don't mind at all. I myself requested to come along.
You heard her. My apologies, sir. I overstepped. Hey, what's wrong? What the?
It appears we need to conduct further research in artificially developing the potential.
Both of you, stand back!
So that's a shadow.
You little... Sir! Miss! Ugh.
Did you see that? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, such power. It's a persona. I was right. People can use them.
Mitsuru!
Father, I'm glad you're safe.
Oh, that was wonderful, Miss Mitsuru. Of course, you would be the first one to awaken your potential naturally. With this, the future truly does seem bright.
Why the hell are you celebrating? Now Mitsuru will be condemned to a life of atonement. She'll spend her prime years bound to our vile legacy. And you call that bright?
Don't worry, Father. This is what I wanted. I will protect you.
Mitsuru.
That was Senpai's.
Oh, yes. Well,
Senpai? What's the matter?
I'm sorry. It's just that seeing my father as if he were still alive was...
Senpai.
Aw, wasn't Kirijo-senpai just so gosh darn cute when she was younger?
Excuse me, Iori. Are you saying that's no longer the case?
Yeah, no, that's not what I mean, you're just so, you know. Come on, cut a guy some slack here.
Is that so?
It's just as I thought. Of the past events we've seen up to this point, the first one seemed to be about getting ready for battle, but the others... how should I put it? There seems to be some aspect they all have in common. Don't you all get that feeling too? At least, a little bit?
Just a little bit, yes.
We've reached the 5th door now. We should be getting closer to the source.
Oh, I just remembered. There's something I have to tell you all. Remember the equipment and documents Kirijo-senpai found? I looked into them, and it turns out they were things that the chairman hid when he was still alive. Most of them were from the accident about 10 years ago. He must have hidden them to keep them from being destroyed. And some of the notes seem to mention the abyss of time.
They do?
It won't be long before we discover what this place really is.
Feels like we're closing in on the truth. Then we should press on.
Hey!
Is something the matter, Amada-kun? Everyone's heading back now. Sorry, I got distracted. It's just a lot on my mind. Yeah, I know. It's a lot to take in, but you don't have to think so hard about it. All we can do is keep exploring, so let's just focus on the road ahead of us. Is that really true, though? I mean, this place is a reflection of our own minds, right? Something tells me that it's going to take more than just exploration to get out of here.
That's...
Amada-kun. I want to understand why all of this is happening. How did we end up here? Maybe you're right.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean for it to sound like you were in the wrong. Nah, don't worry about it. Honestly, you made a really good point. Anyway, we're a team, right? It's important for us to speak our minds like this.
I thought so too!
Yeah, I agree. I'm not very good at it, though. I have a bad habit of keeping things like this bottled up. I didn't have anyone I could talk to before, but it's different now. And with that, Ken finally gets Divine Intervention. Makes sense that this is one of the last theurgies we get, because it is quite broken, so I don't want to make things a little too easy for you starting out.
Thank you very much.
I have to remember, I'm not alone anymore. Thank you, Yukari-san. I didn't even do anything, though. I wouldn't say that. I actually feel a lot better after talking to you. Anyway, I'll head back now and prep for our next trip.
I see.
Things are different now, huh? I'm not alone either. I know that, but...
I think...
Oh, it's starting to make sense. I'm not just on edge. All this time, I've been hurting inside. And Yukari finally regains tranquility. Narratively, I understand why she's getting this so late. She has definitely been very reticent, more so than the rest of the team, really. Yeah, seems to, despite her stoic facade, seems to have been taking the events that happened after defeating Nyx, shall we say, kind of hard. But gameplay-wise, it would have been much more useful if she had gotten this much sooner, either at the exact same time as Kotamaru, or just the door after him. Regardless, now we have a bit more flexibility with our ability to buff up the team. We can apply tranquility, or rather concentration, to everyone via tranquility. Again, would have liked to have this much sooner in the game, but now it is a useful tool in Yukari's kit, and I'm sure we can find plenty of ways to take advantage of this, particularly if we pair her with Akihiko or Junpei and their powerful magic theurgies. I better head back. There's no time to dwell on this right now. But that's not all!
Hi.
You found more parts, right? Would you like to have them installed? Oh, do you even have to ask? Well, as a matter of fact, she doesn't. She just automatically installs them. Okay, everything looks great. I'm sure you'll have to be able to make good use of the enhancement, I guess. And with this, Ambush has been enhanced even further. While dashing, you will automatically destroy breakable objects upon collision. Wonderful little upgrade here. We're able to crumble breakable objects while exploring. The assault state will cause us to just plow through any pedestals along the way, including Twilight Fragment pedestals, allowing us to just quickly scoop up items as we travel. Very, very nice upgrade. Would have loved if we had something like this for the protagonist, though I get why he doesn't have that. There were 7 doors in the desert at the start, meaning we have to clear 7 different areas. I used to think this would take forever, but now there are only 2 doors left.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're nearly there. Now it's time to step it up, guys. Let's press on. We are actually making surprisingly good progress here. I'll admit, I've actually been kind of delaying a little bit because I still have to get a team ready for the bonus boss, as embarrassing as that is to admit. But we'll get there when we get there. I'm committed to getting everything done in these games, so we will be seeing the true bonus boss, or the final bonus boss of episode Aegis. Rest assured, rest assured. That'll have to come another day, though. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, though, goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.